Hey, Rich Taylor here at Milestone Motocross. Just got off of Weston Peick's national bike, his JGR YZ450. I was pretty stoked to ride it. I've been riding a little bit, some Yamahas lately, so I was really curious to see what his was all about. Wow, learned a ton, man. The thing is so cool. Just the ignition settings and the different settings and adjustments you can do to it was pretty cool for sure. First thing I noticed was the forks, man. You know what? He's a big boy, and as you might imagine, his forks are stiff. They're stiff. I was doing a little jump for photos and over jumped it a couple times, like fully got white knuckled, and the thing soaked up the jump like it was nothing. It was pretty cool. The shock, on the other hand, wasn't that stiff and actually worked really, really well, even for me. I'm probably 170, and just acceleration bumps and traction was pretty amazing. Blitzing through the whoops and that, the thing just stayed up and went. It wasn't too stiff at all. It actually worked really, really well. Motor-wise, man, the motor on this bike is so cool. Smooth, but so fast. When we get on these race bikes, a lot of times we think the power is going to be so massive that you won't be able to ride it, but it's just the opposite. The power is so smooth and tractable. Even when they watered here earlier this morning and it was a little bit slimy and slippery, you still could get on the gas out of the corners and the thing would just hook up and go. Pirelli would like to say it's the Pirelli tires, which it may be a lot of, but the motor just is so tractable and just pulls so hard, and then it revs. It just keeps revving. I actually rode a couple laps in just third gear and it pulled it no problem. And then I actually did a couple just in second gear, which isn't the right thing to do, but I just wanted to see if that power would still pull, and it absolutely would. Super impressive. Ride position was another thing I really noticed. The rear end on it feels a little bit lower, actually quite a bit lower than a stock production YZ. The bike is also much more narrow. I know they use some cycroplastic, which narrows the whole thing up, but it kind of just makes the whole bike feel lighter and just like more manageable and handleable. Handleable. But the biggest thing is just the shock and the tractable motor. It works really well. You can see why these guys can go so fast for a whole 30-minute moto and push the whole time. When the motor is that smooth but yet still that fast, it just makes it really nice. That's really about it. I mean, there's so many bells and whistles. I'd be here all day talking about it, but I was pretty stoked to ride it. One of the perks of being a test rider at TransWorld.